Across the South Coast, live from Solent University, you're listening to Solent Sports News.
Good morning, it's 3 o'clock, I'm Alfie Faulkner and these are your Solent Sports News headlines. We're on day 4 of the Winter Olympics in Milan with action starting to heat up. Samuel Williams and Rhythm Corbett are reporting live from Milan.
Yes, Alfie, we're here in Milan. It is absolutely freezing over here. You can smell all of the atmosphere around here. You can see the mountains around us. Of course, underway is a record event with 111 medal events across 8 sports, and it is the 25th edition of this iconic competition. Of course, though, we're going to be talking about Great Britain. Great Britain have never won more than 5 medals at one Winter Olympics. And of course, today they had the opportunity to get a bronze medal in the mixed doubles curling against Italy and just lost out there. I'm joined here with Great Britain fan and follower Francis Smith. Francis, talk us through the game. What do you think?
I think they kind of bottled it, you know. I think they did so well in that league phase. They topped it. They went unbeaten almost. They lost the last couple ones, but I think they really need to take it to the other teams, and they kind of lost their rhythm towards the end.
4 days into this Winter Olympics, there has been highs, there has been lows, and there certainly has been falls. What did you make of Lindsey Vonn's fall? Of course, that's the biggest story of this Winter Olympics.
Yeah, I think it's a tough one, you know, to be injured right before the competition and then come right back in. She was brave for sure, but to end it like that is not a nice way for sure.
Absolutely not. But the big one of day 4 later on today, we have the women's hockey with USA and Canada. That's going to have loads of tension, loads of rivalry, and of course, more than anything with Canada involved, loads of maple syrup. What do you think of that game?
Oh, I tell you what, ice hockey, not for me. I think it's so physical, that game. It can get proper heated, that's for sure. And like you said, maple syrup is on the line, and you can't get in between the Canadians and their maple syrup.
Absolutely not. Thank you very much. Francis Smith has been joined with me, a fan of Team GB at this Winter Olympics. We'll head over all the way back to you in England, live in the studio, Alfie Faulkner.
Thank you, Sam and Francis. So the round 26 of the Premier League is to be played throughout this week with 4 games tonight. Our own football correspondent Ashley Whiteway has more.
Informed Chelsea will take on Leeds United with the Blues searching for their 7th successive home league win against the visitors. Their opponents will be facing a tough test away from home, with Leeds' last victory at Stamford Bridge being way back in December of 1999. Liam Rosenior has won 7 of his last 9 games since being appointed to the Chelsea dugout. His side is now just 1 point behind Manchester United, who sit in 4th in the Premier League. Leeds currently languish in 16th position, 6 points away from the drop zone. Kick-off at 7:30pm. Everton will have to make do without Jack Grealish after it was confirmed that his season is over due to a foot injury he picked up away to Aston Villa in January. The Toffees take on the Cherries at the Hill Dickinson Stadium with just 3 points separating the home side from Bournemouth going into this fixture. The reverse fixture in December ended 1-0 to Everton, courtesy of the recently injured Grealish, who will be a big miss going into this one. Both go into this fixture unbeaten in the last 5 matches. Everton currently sit in 8th, whereas Bournemouth sit in 11th. Tottenham will be hopeful of putting their recent league woes behind them when they host Eddie Howe's Newcastle United tonight. Spurs have lost 5 of the last 7 Premier League games against their opposition, with just 1 win and a draw. Expect goals in this one. Newcastle v Tottenham is the most played fixture to never finish as a 0-0. It's the 4th highest scoring fixture in Premier League history. And finally, Manchester United will be going for their 5th league win in a row in a match that has plenty of talking points. Michael Carrick has orchestrated a remarkable change in fortunes at Old Trafford since taking over as Red Devils head coach with a 100% record. The Hammers will be aiming to improve their survival hopes and follow up their 2-0 victory against Burnley with another win, as they currently languish in the relegation zone. Will the United strand finally get the haircut he so desperately needs? 493 days in, and it could all be over tonight if Manchester United win their 5th game on the bounce.
Southampton travel to the King Power Stadium to face Leicester City. The Saints have the chance to go within a point of the playoff positions after a disappointing start to the season. Here is Jake Pearce to give you the rundown.
Southampton have been relegated from the Premier League.
Southampton FC haven't had the easiest season so far in the Championship, with the highs.
What a day it's been for Southampton. A 5-1 win against Charlton Athletic.
As well as plenty of low points.
Middlesbrough have won this game by 4 goals to 0.
The Saints currently sit 14th in the Championship table with 43 points, but do still have the chance to make a push into playoff positions to give them a glimmer of hope when returning to the Premier League after such a disappointing campaign last season. Fans of the club haven't hesitated to voice their frustrations about their team's campaign so far this season. The owners of the club, Sport Republic, took control in 2021 and have since seen the club relegated twice from the Premier League whilst achieving promotion once, with many fans wanting change in the boardroom.
There it is, it's ended. Southampton 1, Hull City 2.
Hello, I'm Alex and I'm a Saints fan and football writer for various websites.
Chris Coombs, I'm the sports editor at BBC South Today.
I don't think Saints sporting director Johannes Spors would have anticipated a managerial change so early this season.
For Southampton, this season has been a complete mixed bag. I think hindsight's a wonderful thing in sport. It hasn't worked with Will Steele. It didn't work with Tom Derecker until they won the last 4 games, and that's the point. Ultimately, Sport Republic's decisions will be made or break on whether or not they deliver wins.
There was then a tough period where the team went 7 games without a win and fans were calling for his head.
4 points is nothing. If they win the next 3, they could easily be in the top 6 and everyone thinks they're looking up. But equally, if they don't win the next 3, that gap could stretch out to 8-9 points and then all of a sudden the season drifts away.
The Reds continue their late charge for promotion as they travel to the King Power Stadium to face Leicester City. Having beaten Leicester earlier in the season, Tom Derecker will be hoping for the same outcome as he looks to take the Saints back to the Premier League.
During last week's fixtures, 36 EFL fixtures were delayed their kick-off by 1 minute to raise awareness for the Every Minute Matters campaign. We passed to Charlie Stevens and Harvey Gehring to tell us more.
Did you notice that last week, every match in the English Football League kicked off 1 minute later? That's because every minute matters when it comes to performing life-changing CPR. 8 out of 10 cardiac arrests in the UK happen at home, and tragically less than 1 in 10 live, mainly because the people around don't know how to perform CPR. The EFL are partnered with the British Heart Foundation and Sky Bet since May 2024 in order to spread awareness of how to perform CPR. We went to an EFL match to see how fans feel about the initiative. I'm here next to the Ted Bates statue outside of St Mary's Stadium. Let's go and speak to some fans about the campaign. Do you know why the game's kicking off 1 minute later today?
No idea. I was aware that it was a minute later, but I wasn't quite sure for why.
Yes, because is it not the British Heart Foundation thing about
Take 1 minute.
Take 1 minute and CPR listening?
I ain't got a faintest idea, mate.
Yes, I do. I've looked up on it. I think it's a good cause. Really good that they're highlighting it as an issue, because obviously we've seen like a few players have that in matches. So yeah, it's important that it gets highlighted.
With February being labelled as Heart Month, it provides a perfect opportunity to teach people how to react when someone suffers a cardiac arrest. Do you know how to do CPR, or is anyone around you know how to do CPR?
I do first aid training as part of my work.
And how important would you say it is for people to learn how to do it?
Very, very important. As the defibrillators and everything else that can keep people safe in emergencies.
I mean, I'm an ex-serviceman, so they teach it to you anyway in the services.
Hopefully, you'll never need it. It's one of those catch-22s, isn't it? Should somebody around you, or even you, need it, well then that's when you're glad that somebody or yourself has that ability.
And on the British Heart Foundation page, there's like a 15-minute video where you can actually learn how to do it yourself as well.
Okay.
So we're just going to just spread awareness of getting people so
that's worth a look then on their page.
It's happening in real life, they'll know how to do it. It potentially saves someone's life.
Yeah, exactly that. It turns out that football fans already have some knowledge and awareness of the Every Minute Matters campaign and how to perform CPR when it could be the difference between life and death. Charlie Stevens, Solent Sports News.
Eastleigh Football Club have lodged plans to build 7 covered paddle courts at their ground. The rapid rise of the sport has seen over 300 venues pop up across the UK. Daniel Farmer reports.
And then hits into the ground and it's in! And Eastleigh have a leveller, and it's Aaron Pierre from almost nothing.
Those are the sounds that the Silver Lake Stadium, home of Eastleigh Football Club, are used to. However, those sounds could soon be complemented by these. Plans have been lodged by the football club to build 7 covered paddle courts at the stadium. Fan of the club and local paddle enthusiast Dylan Watt is pleased by the news.
Yeah, I'm really happy that the club has branched out to such a new and upcoming sport. I play it, my mates play it, but we're just quite happy that our own football club has sort of branched out to this. So that's new, that's exciting, and yeah, I can't wait to go there.
The fast-growing racket sport has seen a boom in recent years, with figures from the LTA showing that 400,000 Brits were active paddle players at the end of 2024. The new courts would become the 4th paddle venue in the Southampton area, joining Paddle Hub, Paddle Stars and the courts at David Lloyd clubs. Built on an existing parking area, each court will feature a synthetic turf surface and a toughened glazing panel. With football clubs coming under increased pressure to diversify their income, these plans will hopefully be beneficial to both Eastleigh Football Club and the local paddle community. Daniel Farmer, Solent Sports News.
The 2026 Cricket World Cup has only just begun and has already been filled with controversy, with ongoing political tensions between India and Pakistan. Rivan Corbett has more on the story.
And bang! It's over. It's India who win the Asia Cup.
The Pakistan-India fixture was always a big occasion because of the ongoing political tensions, but this T20 World Cup has increased its international news coverage. Pakistan had initially boycotted the match as it was scheduled to be played in Sri Lanka, with the country having pulled out of the competition. I spoke to the content and media assistant at Hampshire Cricket, Matthew Cook, about what the impact of the boycott had on the sport.
You can't help but feel that the damage is already done, having obviously played out this scenario and this back and forth between, the ICC, Bangladesh, Pakistan. You've got the Prime Minister of Pakistan saying that, the decision was taken to play the game after all to protect the spirit of cricket. But it's hard to believe, really, that the spirit of cricket hasn't been damaged beyond repair after, obviously, all of this has played out.
The Pakistani government have since lifted the order to boycott the competition, but the coverage of the story has had a significant impact already.
Good day, I'm Noah James Knight. I'm from Antigua and I play for the Solent University cricket team, and I've played for Antigua at the youth level. I would say it's one of the biggest games in sports. Like, millions tune in just to watch these games. Even like countries that are new to the cricket, like Italy and Nepal, the views that these games get are significant compared to other sports. So it's a real big deal.
With the story reaching worldwide headlines, could the players themselves have been impacted?
I think it's incredibly damaging for cricket as a sport, to see 2 big nations boycotting and refusing to play. Obviously, it grabs the headlines in a way that will, really cause a stir for not just the fans and the people involved, but just as the sport as a whole, really.
It's 2 big nations, India and Pakistan, and they bring in a lot of revenue into the cricket. So for them, political-wise, it will have a big impact on the whole sport in general.
Both India and Pakistan won their opening matches at the World Cup and will now look forward to their second match day, as well as the highly anticipated matchup this Sunday, which will now go ahead.
England Rugby have announced their team to face Scotland at Murrayfield on Saturday. Steve Borthwick has made 2 changes, with captain Maro Itoje and Luke Cohen-Dickey coming into the team. Jamie George and Alex Coles dropped to the bench and are joined by Finn Smith, who replaces Marcus Smith. The Betfred Super League starts on Thursday as the York Knights host Hull Kingston Rovers. The Knights are one of 3 teams to be promoted from the Championship, alongside Bradford Bulls and Toulouse Olympique. Meanwhile, second-tier rugby league side Halifax Panthers have been placed into liquidation because of money owed to HMRC. Emma Raducanu has been knocked out of the Qatar Open after retiring due to illness. The match got to the 3rd set before the Brit handed the victory to Camila Osorio. The world number 80 will play Czech Katerina Sinikova in the round of 32. That's all from us this hour. I'll be back in an hour with our final show of the day. Remember, you can keep up to date 24 hours a day on our website, which is solentsportsnews.com.